Hello, this is Caesar Sihan. This is a blog for sales engineering. And this blog is not necessarily about selling, as it is about a new concept that I got in contact with a few months ago. And it sounded weird at first, I have to admit that. But the more I thought about it, and the more I digged into it, I realized it actually becomes more clear, more real, more practical in this sense. And this is the concept of serving rather than selling. I realize it's just a semantical, or it may be just a semantical difference, but it's very impactful on the way you think, you behave, and it changes basically everything. Now, to be sure and to make it clear, I am not saying that you should be a servant, that you should have an attitude of servitude. That didn't help anybody, never. Rather, I am talking about an attitude of offering value, of going first and offering value first. Now, what do I mean by that? It's a few days ago. I'm going to describe this concept with an example. A few days ago, I interviewed a friend of mine who is a great person, and I wanted to learn how he is doing life. And also, he happens to be a great salesman. And I'm going to talk about the results of that interview in the future posts, because I learned so many interesting things, so many different things than the way I am doing life. And today I'm going to refer to one specific thing, which I found in my friend's strategy of doing life. And that is, first of all, he has a deep and real curiosity about what's going on around him, in his environment. Learning is a high value for him. He wants to learn, he wants to know more. Secondly, he believes that everything and everybody around him is valuable in and of itself. So there is something of value to be collected out of everything and everybody just by connecting with that particular thing or person. So there's no persuasion, no influencing, no selling going on. It's just by connecting, he knows that he'll receive something in return. Something valuable and worthwhile. And now comes the interesting part. That surprised me when I really realized what's going on. So, because of all that, because he knows that just by connecting with somebody, for instance, he'll receive something he values, learnings about the world, then he makes a decision, it's an unconscious decision, of going first, of making a gift first. So he wants to serve in advance that person, knowing that his gift is already on its way. And basically, when he has this attitude of wanting to connect and wanting to give something to that person, that changes the entire dynamics of the interaction that he has with that particular person. That changes all the micro movements, all the gestures, everything, and that person would sense this connectiveness, this willingness to make a gift, willingness to serve, and that person will gonna appreciate more the interaction, and that changes basically everything. And if you are wondering, this is like a side note, if you are wondering if that person would really sense this intention that you might have of serving and so forth, then let's think for a moment at the reverse situation. Have you ever Have you ever talked with somebody, perhaps a salesperson, or maybe somebody you've met, and he was doing all the right things, he was talking the right way, he was doing the right gestures, he was smiling perhaps all too perfect, and yet, although all that, you sensed that something is not right, that you shouldn't trust that person. Have you had something like that? I'm sure you did. Now what's going on there? You see, that person learned how to do the big gestures, the right words. As he learned, he was told or he read somewhere, that a trustworthy person would do. So he was consciously doing the right things. However, because the intention on the back of his mind was different, then the micro movements betrayed that intention, and your unconscious mind sensed those micro movements and gave you the signal that you shouldn't trust that person. You see? So when you hold on the back of the mind the intention to serve, to offer, to be of service to the person in front of you, then you're gonna transpire these type of micro movements. And I'm talking about those little micro movements, gestures, maybe micro muscles on your face, of the muscles around the eyes, things like that, nuances of the voice, things that you don't really control consciously, but they are unconsciously delivered or put in place by your back, by the intention that you hold on the back of the mind. You see? And that attitude of wanting to make a gift and to serve that person in front of you, just because, not to influence, not to make that person give you something in return, not to obligate that person to give you something in return, but because you already know that your gift is on its way. You already know that just by connecting with that person, you will get something of value, a learning that you're going to appreciate. Maybe not today, perhaps tomorrow, but that gift, it is on its way. You will get something that you value out of that interaction, out of that connection, and because of that, you are doing the first step, you're going first, and you're offering something of value for that person. Now, if you were to do that, not only in the selling situations, but just life in general, if you would start sending around this attitude of wanting to be of value, to be of service, I believe that this will make the world a better place, because people around you are going to sense that, and they're going to react differently to you, because they're going to sense that you come from a place of appreciation, of offering value, and being of service. And again, when more and more people would do something like that, I truly believe that the world will become a better place, that we're going to love more to live in, and we're going to appreciate even more. What do you think of this? What do you think of this? If you really think that this is a good thing, of going first and offering value, if you think that this is a good thing, try it out. Try it out and see what happens. See if the persons around you would respond differently to you. But do not do it for that. Do it just as a gift, just for the fact of wanting to offer value, knowing that whatever happens out of that connection with the person in front of you, you will get something of value, no matter what. Something that you will know that will be of use for you. Something that you learn, an information, maybe a smile, whatever that is, you know that that gift, it is already coming to you. So you want to be first and offer first a gift to that person, knowing that the gift for you, it is already coming. And if you do that, persons around you will notice that something is different. And they will ask you, what do you do differently? And then, as you explain that to them, perhaps they're going to feel like doing it. And so on and so forth. You see how the chain will going to grow? And I'd love to hear your opinion about this concept. That it's not mine, to be sure, but I believe it's a valuable concept. And again, my true belief it is that if more of us would do it, would find value in other persons just out of the sheer connectiveness with that person, I believe that the world will become a better place. Just as a last thought, I want to re-emphasize, you're not doing this in order to make the other person give you something, to obligate the other person to give you something in return. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about doing it because you know that your gift is already coming. It's a subtle difference, and I hope you're gonna appreciate it. I'm looking forward for your comments about that, and let's make together the world a better place. Until next time, take good care.